All Ryan here. All right, here we are 4 months after I purchased the Fitbit Inspire 2. This right here is the Fitbit Inspire 2. And in this video, I thought I would just go over some pros and cons. And if I were to go back in time, is it still worth it? Should I buy it? Would I buy it again? So let's jump right into it. Okay, so like I said, the Fitbit Inspire 2 has a pretty slim design, and it looks like this. Okay, and that's the clock. The clock face on that is the stats heavy clock face, and that's that. So just to not hurt anybody's eyes, I'm going to slowly show the that's the heart rate monitor right there, working as it should be working. And yeah, so that's a quick summary. Before I go into the pros and cons, here's the scale. This was my old activity tracker. This was the the M200 bipolar, and you can see right away the differences between the clock face versus an activity tracker. So there is quite a significant difference in size. All right. So I will put this on like so. I will try to do this in the frame, and hopefully I can do this smoothly. So yeah, it comes with two straps. This one is the smaller strap of the two, and then it just kind of fits around like that. And then I do it so it's snug, but not overly snug. All right, and there it goes. It goes on my wrist like that. There you go. And that's the Fitbit Inspire 2. Okay, so let's jump right into the pros and cons right off the top. The first pro, these are my pros and cons, of course, and biased to my usage after 4 months. The first big pro, like a really good thing about this particular activity tracker, is the battery life. The battery life on this has been spectacular. I do charge it about once a week, but it never actually drains. I just do it out of kind of routine, and it has been really spectacular in that end of the world. So battery life is definitely a big plus. So moving on to the second thing here, comfortability has been really well. As you can see, I have a little bit of hair on my arms here, so I haven't had any issues with, well, maybe once I had an issue with some tugging of the hair on with the Fitbit Inspire 2, but nothing outrageous. So I also wear this while I'm sleeping, and compared to what I had before with the M200, this is what I was using for sleep data, and I could definitely feel this at night. So the slim design is definitely an A plus. Also, going more into the internals of the Fitbit Inspire 2 here, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. This is the clock face. This is the stats heavy clock face, and basically, yeah, it shows the time, the steps, the heart rate, calories burned, and distance all on one screen. I found this was really helpful, especially when I'm on the treadmill and all that stuff, and it's been really good in that department. And the last pro on the list here is this Fitbit Inspire 2 does not have any GPS built in, and I find it's wonderful because it saves so much battery life. You can link it to your smartphone. There is an option there in the settings, but it's nice having this with no GPS at all. It just tracks steps, and it's not in the device. For me, I found that's a pro. It's just much more convenient. Okay, now moving on to the cons here. My biggest con for the Fitbit Inspire 2 is this display, as far as I know, is not good at all in the sunlight. I've had put it on both dim settings. There's something called dim screen, and I've shut it off, and it's at its brightest setting, and it does not do very well in the sunlight. So unfortunately, that's a big deal for me, and unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Moving on to the second con, which has to do with the Fitbit app. Nothing major, but it doesn't have an option for dark mode as far as I know. I have an Android device and I've looked around to see if I can put the app in dark mode. There seems to be no option for that, but that's that. And finally, the last con is there's a lot of data that you get with the premium. So there's basically you get your default data from Fitbit, but then they put a lot of other data on behind a paywall. I'm not a fan of that, but it's no big deal. It gives me just enough data, but it's much more limited, and it would be nice to get all the data, but that's a con for me. So, is this worth it for myself in 2022? Would I buy it again? My answer, unfortunately, is no, and the number one reason is because of the display in the daylight. So I like to walk a lot in the summertime and also in the winter a little bit, but because it just doesn't show anything from my experience. You can't see nothing when you're out there. So I would not purchase this again. I am looking for something else, but for anybody else out there, if it's not a big deal, if you're using it for other reasons, then this one might be for you. But for myself, the display in the daylight is kind of a deal breaker. If you would like more information, I do have a blog post on this. The link is in the description, and there's also an affiliate link. I am an affiliate of Amazon as well. Thanks for watching.